Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Fully Charged Gardener. Thank you very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. So today's video is quite an exciting one because it gives me the opportunity to introduce you to my new cameraman. I've called him Bob, and Bob is in actual fact the brand new Dji Ronin 4D. Now this camera is awesome. And I've got some sample footage to show you in a minute, but as you can see, Bob is doing a fantastic job of tracking me as we're chatting now. Yes, this camera could be seen as overkill for YouTube because it is expensive, but without giving too much away, this camera wasn't bought solely for YouTube. I have some exciting projects coming up very soon without giving too much away, and I'd also just like to say thank you to everybody who's taken the time to watch any of my videos. Click that like button, hit the subscribe, take the time to leave a comment. It's all because of you guys that I've been able to team up with this company and we're looking to make these videos. I'm looking forward to spending some time behind the camera to see what we can come up with, but this camera has one very cool trick up its sleeve and I've been playing around with it over the last couple of weeks. So I've got some sample footage for you guys to check out, and I'm sure you will agree that this thing produces amazing footage. So let's check that out, and I'll also just show you around the camera when we come back, just to show you some of its very cool features. Okay, so here it is, the Ronin 4D. How cool is that? Now it is a very quirky looking camera, but that's for a good reason, because it has one very cool trick up its sleeve. But we're going to start up here. Now I'm going to keep this simple because I am a horticulturist, not a videographer, so I'm not going to get too technical. But I am currently shooting with the 24mm lens. This is DJI's proprietary lens. But what is very cool about this camera is that you can change the lens mount. So I'm going to be getting an E-mount adapter for there, and I'm going to be buying some Sony lenses to use on it as well. You can also use Canon lenses and Leica lenses. And speaking of lenses, one cool thing because of the focus system on this, which is this LiDAR sensor, is you can get a motor and focus wheel, and you can actually use manual lenses with autofocus, which again is very cool. Whether I go down that road, I don't know. But being able to change the lens mount just gives you so much versatility with this camera. Obviously, you're limited to weight, and I'll show you the reason for that in a second. Now, what you do have is the built-in gimbal, which is very cool. As you saw, Bob was doing a great job of tracking me earlier, but by using this little joystick down here, I can control the gimbal itself, which is very cool. And what that also means is I can get nice steady pan and tilt shots without having to buy an expensive fluid head for the tripod. For the win, again, all built in, which is brilliant for someone like me. And then just a double click here and it recenters. Now there is one very cool button on this camera, and I'm going to press it now. This one, 4D. Watch this. How cool is that? So this camera has a party trick, and it is this, the fourth axis, the Z axis. And what this does is it works with these sensors here, and there are two sensors underneath the camera, and it cancels out all the bumps while you're walking, so there's no more of that ninja walk that you use with a normal gimbal. I've got a normal gimbal and I hardly ever use it with my other camera because it's a pain in the ass to balance, and it goes out of balance all the time, just ends up going floppy, so I don't really use it. But this thing, as you'll have seen from the sample footage, is like butter. You can walk downstairs, or you can run downstairs, and it looks like a drone shot. But obviously, it's a lot safer because you're not flying a drone around. So that is amazing. And, you know, if I might happen to be running along next to a piece of machinery, then I'm going to get some nice smooth shots. So worth every penny. Having everything built into this unit is amazing. Single battery to power it all. And what's quite funny, I usually shoot with a Sony ZV-1, and this battery alone is bigger than my Sony ZV-1. So as you can see, quite an upgrade for me. What's really cool is there are little record tally lights everywhere. So when you're recording, you've got a light on there, you've got lights on the side of the camera, the screen goes red, and then on here there's also a tally light, so you know when you're recording, which is really cool. I showed you the active track at the start of the video. So clever. It will keep you in shot, and you can also place yourself in the shot as well. So if you want to be in the left of the shot of the frame, you can do, and it's amazing. What is also cool is the menu system on this camera. It is so simple. You can either use the touch screen, or there are buttons if you've got gloves on, so you can change things so easily. So easy to navigate. And what you can also use down here on this joystick, there's a mode button, so you can change the different modes. Now we are currently on one that I want to show you because it's very cool. This camera has built-in ND filters, so I can just turn this wheel over here and I can change the ND, which for someone like me who spends most of my time filming outside, and when it's sunny and you just want to go down a stop or two, awesome. Having that built in is amazing. No clipping things onto the end of the lens. So many buttons on this thing. So once you got your hands in, you can control just about everything from these two joysticks, which is amazing. And the other thing is this has got force feedback. So at the moment I'm changing the NDs, but if I was using it to focus, I'll just change the setting here, then you can use this as a focus wheel and it's really smooth when it rotates. And the other thing that's really cool on this one is I've got it set on it at the moment. You can have it set on autofocus, but what you can do is pull focus if you want to, even though the camera's doing autofocus, and it will snap back. So it's really cool. And what it does with this LiDAR is it puts up, try and get my hand in front of it so it'll show you, and it shows you, it gives you like a top-down view of what your focus is on. So even for someone like me who's not a pro with cameras, it makes focusing so easy, and you can have so much fun with different shots. Get my words out. Anyway, and the other thing that's really cool, and I haven't bought it because I spent all my money on this, is you can get a transmitter and a separate screen, so you can sit 2 miles away and control the camera, which is awesome. But I didn't have the budget for that. But what you can do is you can then take these handles off. I'll do this one-handed, and then you can put these handles on the side of the screen and you can control the camera remotely. So again, a nice little feature and an addition that I hope to make one day. Let's just clip that back on, lock that down. While we're here, lots of different functions for the gimbal. You've got pan follow, pan tilt, and Fpv mode, which is really cool because you can make it look like you're flying through space. I'll film some video of that in here in a minute actually, just to show you. But yeah, such a cool piece of kit. So excited. I just had to share it with you guys. This is not a bragging video. This is just me being very excited and like a kid at Christmas. So I'm sure you'll agree, awesome bit of kit. Right then, switch this into Fpv mode, turn on the 4D. Right, I'm just going to whip round this part of the garden and show you this FPV footage. Here we go. Okay, so that is the awesome DJI Ronin 4D, and I'm sure you'll all agree that it produces amazing footage. I'd just like to say thank you very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.